back door, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for 2.
Go backing and backing, gets stalled again, and picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. Found another goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz!
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good!
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the 3, and it's good!
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good Tuesday evening here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1. For those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com, we are on the air tonight. Aitkin Gobbler girls basketball taking on the East Central Eagles. The Gobbler girls back home after a 4-game road trip as they are back here at the Aitkin High School Gymnasium here tonight. Paul Volda getting things going on the pregame show. The Aitkin Gobblers with a 5-8 record on the season. They take on the East Central Eagles here tonight as well. Gobblers most recently coming off a loss last night to where they fell by the score 75-47, a loss against Barnum on Monday night, and now it makes it 4 consecutive losses for the Aitkin Gobblers. Losses to Hinckley, Finlayson, Mesabi East, even Crosby, Ironton. Now playing in a span of just over a week's time, 4 games in a week's span, and even those 4 games in the span of about 5 days in total as well. Gobblers here looking to get back into the right way of their schedule in this very difficult stretch, now getting back home as well. On the other side tonight, the East Central Eagles coming in after a loss this past Thursday against their crosstown rival in Hinckley, Finlayson, 48-39 as well. 6 of their last 7 games have been in the loss column as well. Coming out of Section 5A, rebounded in that contest. Turnovers mounted up early as they had their difficulty getting back against their crosstown rival in Hinckley, Finlayson tonight. But, of course, we get rolling into the pregame show, and we've got lots to get covered here tonight as well. The Aitkin Gobblers taking on the East Central Eagles tonight, girls high school basketball. We've got plenty coming up here on the pregame show, including a conversation we'll get to here after the break with East Central Eagles head basketball coach Roger Keller will join us here on the pregame show tonight. It's East Central. It's Aitkin tonight, girls high school basketball on KKIN AM and also at yourliveevent.com.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are eyes.
Welcome back to the pregame show tonight here on KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 The Gobbler, and for those tuning into the video stream at yourliveevent.com as we welcome in now head coach for the East Central Eagles as the Eagles take on your Aitkin Gobblers tonight. Roger Keller joins us here on the pregame show. Coach, again, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us before tonight's contest.
Of course, happy to be here.
Coach, looking at how the things have kind of developed into your team here before this matchup you have against Aitkin tonight, most recently a game that you had back on Thursday, a loss to a crosstown opponent, that being the likes of Hinckley Finlayson by the score of 48-39 as well. Looking back at that contest, Coach, I'm sure there were a couple of possessions that maybe got away from your team, but ultimately looking back at that loss, what did you take away from that game against Hinckley?
Well, I think the main things I took away from the game is the progress we've made. We've, fortunately and unfortunately, early in the season had some pretty formidable opponents. So it built a confidence that we could play against teams that were more evenly matched with, and Hinckley was one of those teams. But the thing we have to focus on as we continue to progress in the season is protecting the ball. The turnovers were higher than we would like, which led to a lot of second chance points. And the second part of that, of course, is finishing at the rim. I think those two things in particular were the difference. Had we made, 5 or 6 layups and had protected the ball a little bit more and reduced our turnovers, we would have come out of there with a victory. But unfortunately, those things hurt us.
Coach, you kind of mentioned a couple of things I wanted to bring up as well. Of course, with the progress of your team here, you're at 3-8 on the season. 6 of your last 7 games, unfortunately, have been losses for your teams. But you talked about growth and obviously establishment of your team here into the season with a tough schedule to open up the year as well. Where have you seen maybe some of the biggest growth from your team as this season's kind of come along?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the attention to detail. While we're not there yet, one of the things this team needed coming out was starting first and foremost is creating a culture of belief, that they could believe that they could compete. Candidly, they didn't have that coming into this season as they haven't had success in previous seasons. So that was a big emphasis, is believing they could compete even in the losses. And so the attention to detail has been key, but part of that attention to detail is giving them guidance through structure. They needed to have structure around the offensive sets that we run. But our biggest emphasis, of course, has always been on the defensive side of the floor, running an offense, our defense, where we want to make teams beat us from the outside. Unfortunately, in some of those games, teams have gotten red hot from the three-point range, and that's been kind of our downfall in a couple of games. But our focus has been on attention to detail. The team is getting better at that. But when they get challenged or frustrated in certain sequences, certain possessions, they begin to default to areas where they're not paying attention to detail. So we really got to reinforce that, win or lose. That will continue to make us a better team.
Coach, maybe a couple of players that have maybe made the most progress throughout this year. It's not too often we get the chance to cover the Eagles as well, except for this matchup usually against, the likes of Aitkin or some of the other surrounding communities too. Who have you seen has really made the biggest strides here this season for your team?
Well, I think the go-to players that I knew would have to contribute the most on both sides of the floor, early on in the season, they were, again, hesitant to do what their strengths were. Elsie Larson is our point guard. I put her at the point guard this year because she's a strong ball handler. She has become more confident with controlling the floor, with being able to create from that position. And then, of course, there's Kenzie Ludwig, as we call her. And she's been our top scorer the last 2 games. I think she scored 26 in each of the last 2 games. So she has started to build confidence around her game. But earlier on in the season, she was wanting to distribute the ball more versus relying on her own skills. So I think part of that was believing that they both could not only score, but make the other players better by what they do, by leading on the floor. So those 2 players stand out in my mind. I knew coming in they would be players I need to go to, but they, as I said, they needed to believe in themselves that as they go hard and they play physical and they lead their game, the rest of the players will follow.
Looking at the matchup you have tonight against the likes of the Aitkin Gobblers tonight, Coach, I know a couple of things you brought up early, turnover troubles, finishing at the rim in the post as well. That's led to second chance points. Those are the similar concerns that Aitkin has had as the season's kind of come along as well. But what do you look here for this matchup tonight for your team to maybe get off to a much better start and continue to push the pace here into this part of your schedule too?
Well, I'm looking at this week holistically because we have 3 games this week. And, of course, it starts in the game we have with Aitkin, then it rolls into Bram and Ogilvy, both 2 formidable teams in the Great River. Mm-hmm. So we have to build our practice plans geared toward all 3 games. But part of that is going to be a couple of things. One is going to be tempo. We tend to play one even tempo, which is fast. And we don't need to play fast. We need to play under control. So a big part of emphasis is going to be what I call the read-react. I know read-react by definition is an offense, but in our case it's read-react the entire floor. Seeing what press breakers will give you, seeing what the defense is going to allow you to do in the half-court game. So I need my players to really kind of slow their pace down and recognize what's in front of them instead of trying to play too fast of a game, thinking the faster they go, the better they're going to be. So we're going to reinforce that. And the second part of that is also protecting the ball. And protecting the ball means that they have to recognize I'd rather have them take a 5-second call or a jump ball versus throwing the ball away, and that leads to points for the other team. I guess the third part of that is going to be boxing out. Giving those second chance points comes in the offensive rebounds. And we've done a fair job on that, but as soon as we miss one box out in a close game like we had with Hinckley, that could be the difference. And in part, was part of the difference, and we've got to control that going into our game with Aitkin.
Well, Coach, we certainly do wish you the best of luck, obviously, with this matchup against Aitkin tonight, and also as you head into a busy next couple of weeks with your schedule, too. And thanks again for coming on the pregame show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Head coach for the East Central Eagles girls basketball team, Roger Keller, joins us here on the pregame show as the Eagles take on your Aitkin Gobblers tonight. Take a break here on the pregame show and catch up with head coach for your Aitkin Gobblers, Kaya Davies, joins us here this evening. The Gobblers take on the Eagles tonight, girls high school basketball on KKIN AM The Gobbler, and also with the video stream at yourliveevent.com.
All right. ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader.
Definitely Miss Grader in class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology.
Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
If your vehicle hasn't...
Welcome back to the pregame show here tonight on KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler, and also at yourliveevent.com. We catch up with head coach for Aitkin Gobbler girls, that being Kaya Davies, joins us here on the pregame show. Coach, it's been a little bit. You've played a lot of road contests, but thanks again for joining us here on the pregame show.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Coach, obviously, tough start to the week as well. You hit the road to take on Barnum in a makeup game. You fall 75-47 last night, and continuing, unfortunately, a tough streak of games for your team, too. Looking back at that contest, what were some major detractors that just got away from the Gobblers last night?
You know, with the Barnum game, the biggest thing is box outs. They have two girls that put the time in and do the little things, and they got every single board. I think we were short about 20 boards against them, so that's a big difference there. Yeah, they were 6'2" and 6 foot, but, you know, sometimes my little guards can even manpower their way through that, too. So boards and our turnovers, we still are not meeting our goal with turnovers and being a little too rattled with good pressure defense on us. So I'm hoping here soon that we can get through that barrier that we're struggling with.
Now making it, unfortunately, 4 consecutive losses for your team. All of last week, unfortunately, all of them road contests as well. The road hasn't been very favorable for the Gobblers here, at least at this portion of your schedule as well. I know that boxing out rebounds, turnovers as well. This recent stretch for your team's been pretty tough, but, you know, with those losses, too, out of them being on the road, is it just maybe, you know, getting used to playing out of the confines of Aitkin's high school gym that, you know, has got the girls through a little bit of this tough spell as of late?
I think it comes a lot to the girls in the past 3 years not being used to having the belief in themselves that they have the skills and power to get through these games. I think the road games that have been two and a half hour long has put a little bit damper, and some back-to-backs and the long school days and long nights in the gym is putting a little bit of a damper. Yeah, our schedule was not the prettiest, being basically 4 games in a row here with maybe a day off and in between, but yeah, these girls are tired. That's definitely the case here, and I'm hoping that this week will bring I'm hoping to turn it around tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, looking at this matchup you have against East Central tonight as well, you know, they're in a similar fashion as well, trying to get a little bit more consistency in the busy part of their schedule too, but talk about goals. Last couple times we've chatted, it's been stuff about goals as well. What was the message, obviously, coming from last night's game? And obviously, like you said, 4 games in the span of, well, maybe 5-6 days at the most, too, with maybe 1 day off. What's been some of the big goals here with this matchup, especially tonight against East Central?
One of the biggest goals I preach to the girls is that the first team to 50 points is who's going to win that game. And I think that reads across all teams at different levels and different conferences and whatever else. The first team that hits 50 points is the team that's going to end the game well. Another serious goal that we make sure we try to commit is 15 turnovers. 15 turnovers is very capable. Frequently in the last 4 or 5 games, we took 15 in the first half. So those are just things that I hope the girls realize that we need to start fixing here. In college, and I brought this over for the girls here, is that we only allow 4 3-pointers. After that, we have to run for them because 4 3-pointers is a big difference in what the game's going to end up looking like. So if we can play solid defense and only hold them to 4 makes during the game, that's huge. So I'm hoping those are the same goals that we can bring in for tonight's game.
Coach, thanks as always for joining us on the pregame show. Look, check in with you after the game as well.
Thank you.
Our conversation that we had with, of course, Kaya Davies, that being your head coach for the Aitkin Gobbler girls tonight. Big goals in mind as well. First to 50 points, limit of 15 turnovers, and hold the opposing team to 4 3-pointers in the contest. That is the recipe for a victory as well. Paul Vold joined alongside Jeremy Jansen here on the pregame show as well. Seems like a pretty simple recipe to get into the win column tonight, Jeremy, especially with this Gobbler team now in the midst of a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, the big one she mentioned was, cut down on turnovers, and she's correct. There's been games where they've had upwards of 20 in the first half. Yep. And so if you can limit that to 15 in the game, you're going to give yourself extra possessions and opportunities to score. So she's very right there, and you limit a team to 4 3-pointers. That's a good goal to have, and those are intangible things that you can measure after a game. And so I like what Coach Davies is doing there, and measuring, hey, how did we do? What were our turnovers at? What did the opposing team have for 3-pointers, and who got to 50 points first? And those are things that you can measure at the end of the game and improve on and work on for the next game. So good stuff there. 4 games in the past week for the Aitkin Gobbler girls now, as they have lost 4 consecutive games, but look to end that here tonight in a matchup against East Central that has been a little bit back and forth in recent years as well, and has been, quite the contest it was, especially with the JV game that ended up being a win for East Central. But Gobblers look to get back into the win column tonight. It's Aitkin against the likes of the East Central Eagles here tonight. Not the only broadcast we've got on the airwaves here this evening. We do have, of course, over on yourliveevent.com, including Witch Laporte at Pine River Bacchus girls tonight as well. High school wrestling earlier, the Crosby Ironton Rangers wrestling team playing host to Walker Hackensack Akeley Nevis, and also Nashua Keewatin Greenway. Splitting both matches, they wrestled the first match. They'll wrestle the third match coming up here before too long as well, to go along with Pillager at Monaga tonight on 3WI FM Cash 95.9. Aitkin Gobblers taking on the East Central Eagles tonight. We'll take a break here on the pregame show. National Anthem is going to be coming up for you as well to go with the starting lineups here this evening. Aitkin takes on the East Central Eagles tonight. Girls High School basketball on KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1, as well as yourliveevent.com.
The best in quality bodywork, you need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader.
Definitely Miss Grader in class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
JT Station in Fertile carries a variety of items that are sure to meet your needs, and you should stop in today. They sell hot stuff foods, frozen foods, selected groceries, household products, and much more. The Hot Stuff Foods and Deli will provide you with a fresh, quick, and easy breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and they also offer some of the best car services in town. They're open 6 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. daily. It's JT Station in Fertile.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education, where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Plus parts and services, see Wides across from Lakes Perdine on Oak Street, Brainerd. Also ask about multiple purchase discounts.
Welcome back here this evening on KKIN, AM 930, FM 103.1. For those also tuning in at rjbroadcasting.com as well as yourliveevent.com. Aitkin Gobblers tonight taking on the East Central Eagles this evening. Starting with the starting lineups here for both teams tonight, as the East Central Eagles will go like this. Number 10 is a senior forward at 5'8", and is Kenzie Ludwig, that is. Number 11 is a 5'2" senior guard in Carly Watrin. Number 14 is a 5'5" forward and also a junior in Mason Bellinger, along with number 20 being a 5'3" guard, a sophomore in Elsie Larson, while number 30 is a 5'6" forward and center, that being Isabella Olsen for the East Central Eagles. Head coach for the Eagles is Roger Keller, assisted by Mary Van Ruden. For your Aitkin Gobblers tonight, their starting lineup will go like this. Gobblers will start with number 15, a 5'5" junior in Emma Jacobson. Number 20 is a 6' senior wearing number 20 in Tegan Piesick. Number 21, a 5'5" senior in Eiley Cullum. And number 23 is a 6' junior in Emma Sky, while number 24 is a 5'7" senior in Ella Jansen. Head coach in her first season for the Gobblers is Kaya Davies, assisted by Shariah Peterson. Paul Vold joined alongside with the likes of Jeremy Jansen tonight. Jeremy, what do you see here with this matchup tonight? It's going to be crucial for the Gobblers to get off to a good start.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job last night in Barnum running the offense and getting the ball to the post and able to get to the rim, just weren't able to finish. And as Coach said, they did a nice job of rebound. But the Gobblers, I don't think last night got bit by the turnover bug. They got bit by the rebound bug. And so I think if they can get to the rim tonight and finish, we'll be in good shape. Girls shot the ball well from outside last night, so just have that confidence, pick each other up, and have some fun playing the game.
Gobblers wearing the home black uniforms tonight. Aitkin across the chest with red numbers and letters trimmed in white. East Central Eagles in the road whites. Eagles going across the chest in solid blue with alternating blue and white around the numbers and the letters this evening as well. Gobblers and Eagles set to tap off just, well, a little after 7:30 tonight as well. A little late start, but you know what? Nonetheless, we're ready to go here. Gobblers win the opening tip with Emma Jacobson bringing it across the timeline for the Aitkin Gobblers tonight. It'll be Ella Jansen to bring it up to the front court now. Right side looking for Jacobson. A pass from Tegan Piesick. Dishes it out as it hits the official on the way out. Gobblers turn it over on their first possession of the ball game here this evening. Gobblers will work left to right on your radio dials on KKIN AM 930. FM 103.1 for those also tuning in at rjbroadcasting.com, as well as, of course, at yourliveevent.com. Got a couple out-of-town scoreboard updates already to get you to here before too long, but it'll be the East Central Eagles bringing it up across midcourt to the right side for number 11 and Carly Watrin. Fed inside, lays it up and in, does number 10 and Mackenzie Ludwig, and it's a 2-0 start for the East Central Eagles here tonight. 2-0 lead. Gobblers look to bring up the offense with Eiley Cullum out on the left wing. Gets a screen from Emma Sky, flashing towards the paint. Not enough for a pass to get to Sky. Out to the right side now with Emma Jacobson being pressured by Watrin, as it'll be fed inside now for Tegan Piesick. Looks to drive. Right-handed shot up and in for Tegan. Gets it right back to a 2-2 tie. 16:57 counting downward here to open up this contest tonight. Gobblers bringing the pressure in the backcourt, I should say. Now streaking the other way will be number 20, Elsie Larson. She'll run the length of the floor. Almost drags that back foot. Jumper inside the arc from Isabella Olsen, no good. Ball into the hands of the Gobblers and Tegan Piesick. Works it left side, skip pass to Ella Jansen. Stops, pops a shot off the back of the rim, no good. Fight for the rebound into the hands of Isabella Olsen, I should say, and comes back the other way for the East Central Eagles. Almost poked away. They're going to call a reach on Jacobson. First foul of the night committed by the Aitkin Gobblers. 16:24 to go, 2-2 our score. Good crowd on hand tonight. Aitkin Gobbler boys with the night off tonight, with wrestling also. Night off as well.
First time in a long time for both.
Yes, very much so. Gobbler boys will be back in action coming up on Friday night right here from Aitkin High School as they take on Crosby Ironton. Always a good matchup for those two teams. Push inside, not enough as Ludwig tries to throw one up against Tegan Piesick. Met just outside the perimeter of the paint and was denied any access. 2-2, Gobblers with the basketball. Now comes across half court to Ella Jansen. Skip past it. Emma Jacobson gets a screen from Piesick. from the right elbow, try to get rid of it, and we're going to tie up on the jump ball. Possession arrow says to the Eagles of East Central. Eagles entered tonight with a 3-8 record. Gobblers at 5-8 in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. 6 of the last 7 for the Eagles, also in that loss column.
Something's going to bend tonight.
See if it bends in the way of those wearing the red and black tonight for the Gobblers. Skip pass inside. Watchman tries to be into the bane and denied by Tegan Piesick once again, and gets the ball back to the Gobblers, I should say. Score remains 2-2. Almost 3 minutes into the first half. 4 points in total scored. To Tegan Piesick inside the arc and throws up and under shot, lays it up and in and good for Tegan Piesick. Nice roll off the bottom of the rim for her. All 4 points going to Tegan Piesick for the Gobblers. 15-18 as Watrin. It's almost stolen away. It's going to be a fought for battle, and it will be a tie-up. Gobblers will get the basketball. Good pressure from Tegan Piesick to stop any momentum near midcourt, and gets the ball back via the possession arrow as Ella Jansen will inbound the basketball. Gets it to Eiley Cullum at the top of the circle. Now right side pass to Emma Jacobson. From the free throw line, Jacobson loses the handle. It's stolen away by Mason Bellinger, and it will be taken back the other way now for the Eagles. At the top of the circle now, right side pass, looking for Larson with the handle. She'll drive, right-handed shot. Isabella Olsen, that is, and 2 free throws coming up here for the East Central Eagles tonight. Foul will go against Aiken's Tegan Piesick. 2 fouls for Aiken. None for East Central here, 3 minutes into tonight's ball game. No changes off the bench so far for either team as free throw no good off the back of the rim from Isabella Olsen. 42 remains our score. Points were at a premium in the first half of our JV game as well. Let's hope that's not a common trend here with tonight's contest. As the second free throw no good, lands in the hands of Eiley Cullum, but it's going to be stripped at half court, and turnover back the other way as, well, it was Mackenzie Ludwig gaining possession of the basketball, falling to the deck and rolling over. That's a travel.
4th turnover for the Eagles so far.
4-2 in favor of Aiken. 3 minutes in, and, well, a little bit extra. Down the left side, we get a body hit in the deck as Eiley Cullum hits the floor, but ball was stripped out of her hands, and Gobblers get the ball right back. East Central and Aiken. Early moments of our contest tonight. Jansen looks to inbound, gets it to Emma Sky, down low, fadeaway jumper off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded into the hands of Carly Watrin. Gives it up to Isabella Olsen across half court, now to Elsie Larson. Larson with it to the right wing, right in front of Coach Davies on the far side of the court. Right elbow extended, lead pass inside. Ludwig goes off the window and in, tied at 4.
Their 4 points have come off of that little pick and roll on the right side there.
4-4, I should say, with 14 minutes to go, and we get a foul called offensively against Aiken. That's their 3rd foul already, and that will go against Emma Sky down in the post. Gives it right back to East Central. 14:08 to go. Checking in for the first time tonight, Bretta Westman. She'll come in for Emma Jacobson. Westman, who's been a nice addition to the Gobblers varsity squad off the bench here this season as well, getting some much needed playing time and experience as well. Scoreboard goes out. Now it's back on once again, and we will get denial by Tegan Piesick once again, going up against Kinsey Ludwig.
I think that's Tegan's 3rd block this evening.
Tegan not lamenting anything outside the paint. Down low pass into Isabella Olsen's hands. Shot denied by Sky at midcourt. 3 right at the top of the circle, even though she took a few extra steps to unload on that shot. 7-4 now. The 3 from Elsie Larson makes it a 7-4 lead for the Eagles. Bretta Westman, triple team against her. Shot no good, gets her own rebound. She's fouled underneath the basket. First foul tonight going to East Central.
Britta was that close to having a 20-point game last night. So many just like that. She gets to the rim, does a nice job with her left. Just didn't fall for her last night, but She does a really nice job getting there.
Seeing Watrin and Olsen check out for the Eagles in tonight. Looks like number 23, Chandra Nelson, as Westman again down low gets the jumper to go for her in the paint. Gobblers trail 7-6. Watrin, make that Ludwig, gets it across half court to Elsie Larson. Out on the right wing now, Jamelia Kiranen, out on the right wing with the handle. Kiranen dishes it back out to Ludwig. Fed down low, looking for Bellinger, is just beyond her reach, but it's last touch by a Gobbler. It will stay with the Eagles. And Camille Peranto will check in for Emma Sky. 12:57 to go, 7-6. Aitkin trails against East Central. Out of the right corner, last touch by Britta Westman. I'll just stop the clock, and another inbound coming up. Kiranen will head a little bit further from the right of the basket into the right corner to inbound the basketball for the Eagles. Immediately to Elsie Larson. Looks to drive right baseline, cross-court heave, hits off the back of the backboard, and will go back to Aitkin.
I don't know if that was an intended pass or a shot. What are you going to go with?
Kind of in no man's land there, trying to get a little something extra behind it. Looks like a shot, more likely a pass, but Gobblers get the benefit of the turnover. To Idley Cullum out on the right wing, looks for a pass into the paint, but nowhere to go. Peranto, Jansen fires a three left wing. Good for Ella Jansen. First points of the night for Ella. 9-7 Gobblers take the lead with 12.5 to play in the first half. Ludwig gets it up, now across half court to Elsie Larson. Surveys what the defense has in front of her, looking for some help, and a handoff. It's taken away by Britta Westman. 1-on-2 the other way. Westman runs and is going to be fouled. We are going to get, I believe, free throws in the act of shooting for Britta Westman. She'll head her way to the free throw line.
Britta covers a lot of ground when she gets going out there. She's long strides, running away.
Elsie Larson with her first foul of the night, team second. Will get free throws for the Aitkin Gobblers with 12-12 to play in the first half. Front end of the two, no good. Just off the front of the rim from Britta Westman. 9-7 remains the score, as we'll see Isabella Olsen checking in for Mason Bellinger. She'll take a seat. 12-12 to play, 9-7. Second free throw for Britta Westman is on its way and is good. 10-7, Gobblers take the lead, largest lead of the contest tonight at 3. Inbound out of the right corner. Gobblers get the steal. Jansen goes up and in after a nice feed pass inside. How about a largest lead at 5 tonight for the Gobblers, as Kiranen will inbound the basketball once again. Skips it up to Isabella Olsen, that's Elsie Larson with it. Number 20 for East Central. She's at the top of the circle. Left side pass now to Olsen wearing number 30. Goes back to the right side as she looks to pass. At the top of the circle now for Chandra Nelson to Kiranen out on the right wing. Defended by Cullum. Kiranen looks to drive inside the free throw circle. Poked out of her hands, and coming out with it is Eiley Cullum for the Gobblers. 12-7 Gobblers lead. Jansen left alone. 3 right side. Good for Ella Jansen. Ella, a couple of three-pointers already. 15-7 Gobblers in front. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Elsie Larson down low to Nelson. Banks it up. Misses the shot. Rebound down to Larson. Throws up a wild one. It hits the top of the backboard. Or are we going to get a foul? Looks like a foul assessed before the shot or in the act of shooting. One official with an arm up. Another one talking with another one. Foul going to be called against Aitkin, it looks like. So Eiley Cullum will be assessed a foul.
I think they were conferring on whether, to your point, Paul, if it hit the strap or the bar up there on top.
They're giving 2 points. It's 15-9.
Yep, they did give her the basket.
Okay. I guess I didn't even look to see if the ball went in.
Yep, ball did go in.
Okay. And one free throw. Good. As confusion now out on the floor here. So nonetheless, the and one free throw does count, even though people thought it was 2 free throws.
He walked over Wes Arneson, the ref, and said the basket was good.
Okay.
So He was conferring with the ref to see if it hit the strap before he said anything.
Gobblers get the ball back after the and one free throw made. Makes it 15-10 in favor of Aitkin. Now down low, Westman up and in, can't finish his shot. Piesic with a rebound, misses her shot. Fight for the rebound, possession arrow after the tie-up will go to East Central with 10:52 to play in this first half.
Sometimes you feel like you don't have enough time to turn and shoot that. You got a little more time than that, what you're thinking, and
in transition, Camille Peranto meets up with Carly Watrin just in front of the East Central bench, and that will be a foul against Camille. Fouls now 4-2. I'll make it.
I have 5.
Yeah, I have 5 as well, but 5-2 in favor of Aitkin, in the wrong direction of that one. But Gobblers up with a 5-point lead at 15-10, 10:46 to go, as seeing number 14 Mason Bellinger checking back in. Jamelia Kiranen will check back out. Inbound from Watrin in the right corner. Skips it in as we get a foul called and a charge against the Eagles as Britta Westman drew the contact. And we'll give it back to Aitkin. That one will go against Mackenzie Ludwig. That'll be her first tonight. Team's third of the half. 15-10. Gobblers with the lead, and unfortunately travel double clutching across half court. Jansen trying to find Teagan out for a pass, but unfortunately leads to a turnover.
Fourth turnover for the Gobblers.
Inbound to the right in front of the student section, I should say, is Elsie Larson with a full head of steam across half court. Picks up the dribble, now left side to Carly Watrin. It is Carly Watrin. Drives, loses the handle, underhand pass now to Larson for the jumper, up and in for 2. 15-12 now, Elsie Larson. 8 points in this first half, 8 of the 12 belonging to her. 10 minutes to play in this first half. Piesic in the lane, goes up with a left-handed roll, gets it to fall right in for the Gobblers. Back up to a 5-point lead. Teagan now with 6 points in the half. Steals it on the inbound, right corner, three-pointer for Teagan. Wasting little time for Teagan Piesic. What a bucket out of the steal, and a timeout taken by the East Central Eagles. 20-12 the score. Gobblers take the lead at 8 points here. We'll take a quick break on yourliveevent.com as well as KKIN AM The Gobbler.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class.
My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
Just going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby. Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance.
Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
Welcome back here on KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1, and also at yourliveevent.com, as right now it is a 20-12 lead. Teagan Piesic, 5 straight points for the Gobblers, including a 3 off a steal deep in the right corner, almost behind the basket. Gobblers now in front with Teagan Piesic, 9 points here in this first half. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen on the call tonight for this contest. Under 10 to play in the first half. Gobblers taking advantage as well, even with a couple of runs back and forth. Elsie Larson for the East Central Eagles with the basketball at the top of the circle now, left side to Carly Watrin, left corner for Chandra Nelson. She looks to drive, dishes it back out to Larson. Pass it on the right wing now for Mackenzie Ludwig. Into the right corner with a pass to Bellinger.
Gobblers with good pressure defense here.
And it gets a steal out of it is Ella Jansen. Will look to go the other way. Has a convoy with her. Jansen with the cradle, with the rock. Can't get the shot to fall as the ball rebounded into the hands of number 30, Isabella Olsen. And Larson will come back the other way now to start over at square one with 9:15 to play. Down 20-12. Aitkin in front against East Central. Left elbow, Ludwig drives inside the paint, just outside the free throw lane on the left side. Up top for Carly Watrin, being defended by Jacobson, who checked in during the timeout. Stolen away once again, Teagan Piesic after a poke away from Peranto. Piesic up and leaves the shot a little bit short. Last touch by the Eagles. Gobblers will keep the basketball. Piesic with a full head of steam, unable to cash that one back in.
Sometimes in there you stop and get that contact. You might get a...
Out of the left corner for Pisa. A couple of bounces off the back of the rim. Doesn't go, but the rebound will end up back in her hands. As Ella Jansen with the basketball with 8 points in the first half, just nipping on the heels of her teammates and Tegan Piesick. 3 from Emma Jacobson off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded down into the hands of Olsen, who gives it up to Ludwig. As East Central will reset, coming across half court, across the timeline for number 20 and Elsie Larson. Feed pass inside, tipped out of the air, but it's going to be collected by Ludwig, rebounded loose to Tegan Piesick. Keeps it herself before handing it off to Camille Peranto. Hands it off to Tegan Piesick, right side, just through the hands of Jansen. A long stretch pass out to Jansen in the front court and turns it over for the Gobblers.
Tried to run with the ball before she caught it.
Emma Sky will check back in for Aitkin. Camille Peranto is out. 8:07 to play, 20-12 the score. 9 points for Tegan Piesick, 8 as well for Ella Jansen. 8 points for Elsie Larson on the other side for East Central. She has the basketball across half court now, being defended by Jansen at the top of the circle. Backs out between midcourt and the top of the key, or drives right side, pass now back out to the wing for Carly Watron. Watron skip pass inside Isabel Olsen, drags a foot. Shot thrown up by Larson, no good. Rebounded down to Tegan Piesick.
5th board for Tegan so far.
Tegan, stretch pass out to Emma Jacobson. Back to Tegan, fed inside for the worm. Right-handed shot, gets her own rebound. Going to be jump ball tie-up, unfortunately, as it will stay with Aitkin.
That's one where Emma would like that back. Probably put on the floor and go right to the hoop.
Mm-hmm. Give yourself some assurance in that opportunity in the post. Right to Emma Sky, just over her head is Kiernan. Jamelia Kiernan, who just checked in during that last stoppage. Gets the loose pass and gives it back to Elsie Larson across half court. Right side for Olsen. Olsen will get a screen from Watron, works away from the screen inside the arc, just outside the paint. Skip pass up to Watron once again. Right side for Kiernan. Out on the right wing, looks for a pass to get away from the defensive pressure to Elsie Larson at the top of the key. 7 minutes to go in the first half, 20-12. Aitkin is in the lead. Olsen runs through the middle of the floor. Can't get the shot to go, as now Jansen will take it across half court. Stretch pass out to Bretta Westman. Westman back out to Jansen with some room to work with. Tegan left alone. Left wing, 3 on the way. Off the back of the rim, no good. Westman with a rebound. Right-handed layup doesn't go. Westman with another putback and follows through this time from Bretta Westman.
2 rebounds there back-to-back. Tough, great position by Bretta underneath to get that first one, and a lot of traffic on that first attempt.
22-12 now the score. 6.5 to play in this first half. Gobblers in control. Right elbow pass out to that being Olsen. Isabella Olsen looks for some help out on that right wing. Back up top, stripped away, now kept alive by number 20 and Elsie Larson. Now slowing up, resetting the offense. High pass to number 23 and Chandra Nelson. Nelson will look to drive, dribbles it off her own foot, but will stay as a foul was called against Aitkin.
One of our youngest Gobbler fans listening tonight, less than 1 year old, Grayson Brzezinski. Jared Brzezinski, former Gobbler.
That's right. 22-12, score in favor of Aitkin. Inbound to the right of the basket, Carly Watron will inbound and skip it into Elsie Larson, and it goes right into the hands of Eiley Cullum right off the bench and gets a steal. Gobblers force a turnover, foul in transition. Watron will be guilty of that. Looks like her first of the night for her, and also the team's 4th of the half for East Central. Cullum gets the inbound to Emma Sky, down low, right-handed shot, and we get a foul called underneath the basket, and this one against Aitkin, unfortunately, and Emma Sky will be the guilty party, unfortunately, for her. It's going to be her second with 5:52 to go in the first half.
Both of Emma's fouls called offensively against Emma. I didn't agree with that one. She's trying to get position to the hoop, and she's restricted.
5:44 to go here until halftime. Clock will continue to wind with Mackenzie Ludwig handing it off to Carly Watron. Back to Elsie Larson. A skip pass to the top of the circle, stolen away by Eiley Cullum as she'll handle it off now to Emma Jacobson across half court. To the right wing now for Jacobson. High pass to Cullum. Keeps it right in front of her before hitting a midcourt. Cullum loses the handle, spinning around is going to be stolen away by Elsie Larson. She'll go with the right-handed layup and in. And 22-14 now the score with that layup from Elsie Larson. 10 of the 14 scored by Larson tonight. The other 4 points going to number 10 in Mackenzie Ludwig. Skip pass down to Emma Sky. Her shot no good. And we'll get a jump ball tie-up. Ball will go to it was originally a
jump ball,
but now they're going to call a foul against Teagan, I believe, after maybe a little bit of indecision and some assistance from the opposing coaching staff, as Coach Keller said that maybe going over the top was Teagan. 22-14 at the line for a 1-and-1 is Mackenzie Ludwig. Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Sky gets the rebound. Across midcourt to Emma Jacobson on the right wing near the corner, fed down low to Westman. Right-handed layup is good. Greta Westman, nice job and staying strong down low. Back up to a 10-point lead at 24-14. 4.5 to play. At the top of the circle now to Mackenzie Ludwig. Ludwig spins to the right side and passes to the left. Hands it off to Mason Bellinger. Stolen away by Teagan Piesick. She'll go down the length of the floor, lays it up. Basket will count, and she is fouled at the rack. Teagan Piesick, and one opportunity for the Gobblers, and it's an 11-point first half so far for Teagan Piesick, and a 12-point lead.
They get Madison Bellinger there for that foul.
Bellinger will be assessed her foul, team's 5th of the half as well. As Teagan at the line to complete an and one, as we see Camille Peranto and Ella Jansen checking back in for the Gobblers. And one free throw, no good. Rebounded down to Elsie Larson. Larson will slow up as she comes across midcourt. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Looks towards the left side, gets it to number 11 and Carly Watron on the left wing. Picks up the dribble. Cross-court heave now to Kenzie Ludwig. Ludwig out on the perimeter. Skip pass back to Watron as she makes her way back towards the middle. Back to Ludwig out on the right wing. Gobblers defense trying to hold them at the perimeter, and we get a foul called against, I believe this one's going to be against Aitkin. That's going to be on Eiley Cullum. That's her second. And also team's 9th. That's a 1-and-1 for East Central. 26-14 the score. Fouls mounting early here in this contest. 3 Gobblers with 2 fouls already. Under 4 to go in the first half. And, front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Rebounded down to Olsen, and now we're going to get it tie up on the jump ball. And now we'll go back to East Central.
The Eagles just 1 of 5 from the free throw line so far tonight.
A couple of those being on the front ends of 1-and-1s.
Yep.
Inbound to Watron will go to Ludwig, denied on the shot. Westman with the rebound. She'll take her time as she now comes across half court. Dangerous half court pass now to Ella Jansen, knocks down the 3. Ella with a nice first half at 11 points, ties Teagan Piesick with the team lead. Watron with the inbound, skips it into Elsie Larson. Gobblers coming up with full court pressure. Jansen beat defensively across midcourt. Now we'll get it to Elsie Larson. Cross court back up top. Heave to Watron. Left side for Ludwig. Just a little over 3 minutes ago in the first half. Larson from the left elbow to Ludwig. Now to Isabella Olsen at the top of the circle. Loses it off the leg, and not going to be an over and back, even though it went directly off the leg of number 10 in Mackenzie Ludwig. We get a little bit of contact as well. Foul called against the East Central Eagles. I believe this one against, yes, it will be Ludwig with her second, team 6th. And I believe we will head to the, next one will be heading for a 1-and-1. 16 foul of the half for East Central. 3:01 to go here in the first half. 29-14. Aitkin with the lead.
I had that in the book as this 1-and-1.
Up on the way, straight on three, no good from Jansen. Rebound to Piesic, banks it up and in for two more. 31-14 here with just over 2:40 to go. That goal for the Gobblers to 50 points to win this game. Well, they're more than halfway to that number as well. Elsie Larson across half court now at the top of the circle. Works it right side for Carly Watron out of the wing. Drives into the right corner, will drive towards the basket, and it will be a foul and a charge called against the East Central Eagles, and we'll give it back to Aitkin.
I think that's Camille Pronto's favorite part of the game, taking a charge. She loves that. She hops right up and hustles down the court.
Camille Pronto then saw out of the corner of my eyes somehow Eiley Cullum was doing a full barrel roll onto the floor.
Yeah, she went over the top of Camille as well. I think trying to avoid stepping on anybody.
Just a couple of crash test dummies out on the floor here tonight, but the Gobblers getting that advantage with Tegan Piesic. Right side, throws up a runner, no good. Ball into the hands of Elsie Larson. Foul called on the reach by the Gobblers, and we'll go back to the line. This is going to be a guaranteed 2. Foul called against Eiley Cullum. That's going to be her third already. With just over 2 to play here in this first half. Gobblers up 31-14. 2 guaranteed free throws for Elsie Larson, the sophomore point guard that's been taking the lead at that point guard position. First free throw no good for Coach Keller and the East Central Eagles. 2:07 to go here in this first half of basketball. Of course, at halftime, the Aitkin All-Stars dance team will be performing. We'll make mention of that here on our broadcast. Second free throw no good. Rebounded down to Tegan Piesic across the midcourt line. Works it out to the left wing to herself. Up top now for Eiley Cullum. Right side for Ella Jansen. Inside to Westman. Westman goes up strong with the right hand. Finishes off the window and in. Good for the Gobblers. 33-14. Under 2 to play.
Great ball movement there by the Gobblers. That extra pass down right to the post, and Britta beats her girl right to the hoop.
Minute 45 to go. Gobblers up 33-14 in the first half. Good overall play so far. Foul trouble, but nonetheless making the most of it. At the top of the key for Carly Watron. Stripped away by Ella Jansen. Jansen going to go down the length of the floor. Lays it up and in for 2 more. 35-14 in favor of the Gobblers with just less than 90 seconds to go. Of course, as we near halftime, a reminder that the All-Stars will be performing, the Aitkin All-Stars that is. We're going to keep the video stream right here at the Aitkin High School Gymnasium, but unfortunately, due to copyright issues, we cannot provide audio for the All-Stars dance. But for those tuning in on the radio tonight, you will still get the halftime report. That'll be coming up at the completion of less than a minute to go. East Central basketball, Elsie Larson gets the shot to go up and in for her. 2 more points for her after initially starting the possession with a missed shot, got her own rebound, was able to work it back to herself. 12 first half points for Elsie Larson. 40 seconds to go. Jansen to Piesic, back to Jansen at the top of the key. Now skip pass right side for Tegan as Gobblers going to be holding on to it here. Most likely try to go for the last shot as lost in the hands of the Eagles now. Larson outlets the Ludwig right-handed layup, no good. Put back from Bellinger is going to be good as well. 35-18. 15 seconds to go. Now with Gobblers bringing it up across half court. Will hold for that final shot. 10 seconds, stretch out. Camille Pronto, right side, 3 from Jansen. Good for Ella Jansen. A 20-point lead at 38-18. A heave from the Eagles, no good. 38-18, Gobblers take the lead into the halftime locker room. Gobblers with an impressive first half performance and much needed here on this Tuesday night. We are going to take a break here. Halftime show coming up. The Aitkin All-Stars will be performing, so we're going to keep the video right here on yourliveevent.com going into this halftime break. But for those that are tuning in on KKIN AM and 103.1 FM, we will get you the halftime report coming up here on yourliveevent.com and also KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler.
To Coach's Davies' point, let's cut down on the turnovers. Gobblers with 8 in the first half, if they can stay on pace and maybe stay underneath that 15, what she was hoping for. So a lot of second chance points. They moved the ball well and looked for that extra pass, whether it be down low or on the top of the key, and so did a nice job. Played good pressure defense, caused some problems in the half court set for the Eagles, and then really pressed them in the offensive zone. So fun 20 or 18 minutes, I should say, of basketball for the Gobblers.
Gobblers up 38-18 at the half. Now welcoming back in our audience on EuroLiveEvent.com. The Aitkin All-Stars dance team just wrapping up their halftime performance as well. Gobblers with the advantage of 16 points from Ella Jansen and Tegan Piesick with 13 points at the break as well. 12 of the 18 points scored in that first half from East Central belonged to Elsie Larson at the halftime break. And a reminder as well, their out-of-town scoreboard did see that a final score on YourLiveEvent.com. Here's a good score for you, Jeremy. 90-19. Pine River Bacchus girls take down LaPorte tonight.
Wow.
And then halftime score on Cache 95.9. Pillager down at halftime against Monaga by the score of 30-13. Of course, Crosby Ironton wrestling tonight over on Skeeter 101.5. They wrestled the first match, and they got the last match of the night as well, playing host to Walker Hackensack Akeley Nevis, and then also Nashua Keewat and Greenway as well. Take another break here. Halftime show. Second half action coming up as well. Gobblers lead 38-18 against the East Central Eagles here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1, and also back with us on YourLiveEvent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
Welcome back here on YourLiveEvent.com, as well as KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1. Gobblers and East Central Eagles getting their last-minute shots up as well. Going into the second half, Gobblers lead 38-18, and 3 scores apiece in that first half for each team as well, Jeremy.
Yeah, Mackenzie Ludwig, Elise Larson, and Isabella Olson, Madison Bellinger are the 3 scores for. And then for the Gobblers, Tegan Piesick with 13, Britta Westman with 9, and Ella Jansen with 16.
Gobblers hope to snap their 4-game losing streak with one more half of basketball. Well, East Central is hoping for a big comeback here in the second half and, get back in the win column for the first time. And, 6 of their last 7 games have been losses here tonight. Looks like Gobblers will get the basketball out of the halftime locker room as well. They'll be working right to left on your radio dials on KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 for those also tuning in to the video stream at YourLiveEvent.com. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen, forgot to mention as well our public address announcer Dave Sadlowski on the other side of the court here tonight. Gobblers will bring it up to the front court with all 5 original starters tonight. Britta Westman actually in to start off the second half and replace Eiley Cullum. Turnaround jumper from Emma Skye, no good. Rebounded down to number 10 in Mackenzie Ludwig, that is, as we'll come back the other way for the East Central Eagles. Taken away on a near stolen pass from Emma Jacobson. Carly Watrin gives it up to her teammate and Elsie Larson. Larson with 12 of the 18 points scored for the Eagles here tonight. Skip pass right to the right elbow for Isabella Olson. back out to the paint. Now to the right side for Watron. Fed inside for Ludwig. It's almost taken away by the Gobblers. Larson at the top of the circle once again. We'll keep the possession of the basketball. Now we'll go right side on the dribble with Ella Jansen. Feed pass inside. Ludwig gets the carom off the basket to go. 38-20. First points of the second half belong to the Eagles. 16:53 to go in this contest. Gobblers lead by that score of 38-20. Inside, Britta Westman just a little bit too far on front. Gobblers a couple of turnovers early on and gave it right back to the East Central Eagles with Elsie Larson handling the basketball for the Eagles. 16.5 to go. Gobblers up by that 18-point lead. Larson taking her time with the possession being defended by Emma Jacobson. Now to Carly Watson at the top of the circle. Works it left side for Mason Bellinger, that is. Almost taken away by Ella Jansen off her fingertips. Skip pass, now it's taken away by Jacobson. Jacobson will bring it up to the front court. Foul called in transition to Carly Watson. Shakes her head in dismay, but nonetheless, foul called against her. That's her third tonight. 3 fouls for Carly Watron. First Eagle with 3 fouls here this evening with 16 minutes to play. Skip past the right elbow for Britta Westman. Hands it off to Tegan Pisek, running through traffic. Pisek at the free throw line, down low for Sky, as it's going to be a travel call before the pass gets away cleanly.
That was a makeup call for the one they missed about 6 seconds earlier.
With 15:57 to go. We'll see Carly Watron check out, brings in Jamelia Kiranen, that is. Skip pass now on the inbound. We'll go to Elsie Larson. Try to get to the front court for the Eagles. Now they finally do to Ludwig. Ludwig gets a high screen at the top of the circle. Ludwig drives from the free throw line, lays it up, leaves it short. And Tegan Pisek with a full head of steam comes back the other way. 15.5 to go. Tegan out in the left wing. Up to Ella Jansen, skips it out. Jacobson going to dial up from downtown, does not connect as it'll go to Ella Jansen in the right corner. She steps back, three-pointer off the side of the rim, no good. Fight for a rebound to Tegan Pisek. She'll throw up a wild shot, no good. And a land in the hands of Isabel Olsen, who hands it off to Mackenzie Ludwig across half court for the Eagles. Elsie Larson at the top of the circle. Looking towards Coach Keller before making a move. Free throw line jumper off the back of the iron, no good. It rebounded loose out on the floor, picked up by Larson once again. We'll start over. Right side pass to Ludwig. From the right elbow, hands it off to Kiranen. Inside the perimeter, steps back out to the arc. Now left side for Isabel Olsen. Steps inside the arc, throws a pass into the ankles of Kiranen, defended by Jacobson. At the line, top of the circle, and a foul called out on the floor as Kiranen hits the deck. Britta Westman with her first tonight, team's first of the half as well. Eagles get the basketball right in front of Dave Sadlowski. Under 15 to play. Just 2 points scored as we're 3.5 minutes into this second half. As a drive off the left side, a foul called on the floor, but in the act of shooting, Isabella Olsen will go to the line for.
No, I think he called it on the floor. He didn't.
That's right. He didn't go up with 2. He pointed at the floor, so we'll stay on the floor with that foul assessed to Ella Jansen. That'll be her first tonight. Skip off the inbound to Mackenzie Ludwig out in that left corner, defended by Emma Sky. Now to the left wing for Elsie Larson. She'll dribble her way back to the top of the circle, nearing between midcourt and the top of the key. Directing traffic is Larson. Right side pass out to Bellinger. Bellinger looks for a screen. She'll get one. Floating a pass inside. Ludwig goes up and in for 2. 38-22. 4 straight points for the Eagles.
That's how the game started. Ludwig had the first 4 of the game and the first 4 of the second half.
4 minutes in, and we've got 4 points to show for it. Stolen away by the Eagles. Gobblers a little bit sluggish here out of the halftime break as they took in some of the festivities with the halftime performances for the All-Stars, but showing support for their classmates in the process. 38-22, Eagles. at the free throw line. Down low, Ludwig lays it up and in. Hits off the bottom of the rim and still goes in even after a thought there for half a second. Should I go in or not? And the ball goes in. 6-0 run to open up the half for the Eagles. 38-24. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles, and will stay with Aitkin. 38-24 our score. Ella Jansen will inbound to Emma Sky right underneath the basket, throws a wild shot. She's fouled at the line. You know, ever since we mentioned the likeness and the style of play of Emma Sky to Dennis Rodman, I'm seeing more and more of those mannerisms out on the floor. Going up for a rebound, one leg in the air. As we get a conversation with the official underneath the basket and coach Roger Keller on the far side of the court for East Central. First free throw no good from Sky. Foul assessed to Chandra Nelson. Nelson for East Central with her first tonight. Second free throw for Emma Sky is good.
Emma's first points of the night.
39-24 our score. We'll just make that correction on our scoreboard here. Larson gets it out to Ludwig, goes streak across midcourt, out on the left wing, skip pass, stolen away by the Worm. Sky to Pisek, to Jansen in transition, to Westman, just inside the paint, right corner. Jansen going to huck up a three-pointer and finds the bottom of the net for Ella Jansen. 42-24. Gobblers with 4 straight points after that 6-0 run to open up the half. For East Central in transition, and it looks like we will see another foul go to Emma Sky, which will be foul number 3 tonight for her. 42-24 with 12:43 to play in regulation. Kiernan will inbound the basketball for East Central to the left of the basket. Defending the inbound will be Emma Jacobson. Skip pass down low, looking for Olsen and fouled, and that's going to be 2 free throws as Sky, the guilty party of the foul, and she knows directly where she's going with the foul. And looks like Isabella Olsen will head to line to shoot a pair. And Camille Peranto will be checking in for Sky after this first free throw attempt for Isabella Olsen. First free throw's up and good. Sky will make her way to the bench and brings in Camille Peranto. First time out of the second half. 12:42 to go. Second free throw is good. Going 2 for 2 at the line. 42-26. 12:40 to play. Across half court. Tegan Pisek at the top of the key. Left side for Jansen. Jansen with the handle of the basketball. Looks for a flash pass. She will at the free throw line for Camille Peranto. Camille looks to drive. Left side. Throws up a runner. No good. Rebounded down low to Ludwig. She'll come out with it. Massive bodies down low underneath the basket there, and saw an Eagle come out with it with 12:18 to play. And we will see body hit the deck at midcourt, and Kiernan going up against Ella Jansen, but we continue on with play. 42-26. Will be Isabella Olsen just outside the perimeter. Will get the pass up back top to Chandra Nelson. Left side stolen away by Tegan Pisek. Pisek down the other way, throws up a runner and good. Up and in for 2 more for the Gobblers. 44-26. 15 points in tonight's game for Tegan Pisek, but it's Ella Jansen leading the way at 19. Larson will bring it across half court for the Eagles. Picks up her dribble, now works it to the left side with the left hand. To Mackenzie Ludwig. Going to the perimeter and working it, swinging it back around now for Larson. At the right elbow, Ludwig looks to drive, backing up Westman. Pushes her way through, down low for Nelson, that is, who goes right around Camille Peranto, pushes in for 2 more. 44-28 with 11 minutes to go. Gobblers in front. Deegan with some space, hesitates, drives, left-handed layup, and a travel called against the Gobblers. See Eiley Cullum check in as Ella Jansen going to get a reprieve. Also seeing Carly Watron check back in for the Eagles with her 3 fouls. Inbound to Mackenzie Ludwig. Gobblers still bringing the pressure in that backcourt, full court pressure that is, with Mackenzie Ludwig minching her way towards midcourt. And no timeout, a timeout granted, no travel I should say granted on the call, but 10:56 to go in this second half of basketball. 44-28 here on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Welcome back here to KKIN AM 930 FM Translator 103.1. And for those also tuning in at YourLiveEvent.com, as well as the audio stream at RJBroadcasting.com. 44-28, 10:56 to go in regulation. Aitkin Gobblers lead the East Central Eagles. Right at midcourt, the Eagles will inbound to Chandra Nelson after the timeout called by Roger Keller for East Central. And jump ball on the tie-up will give it right to East Central in the possession arrow. So Gobblers force that. We'll get the possession arrow after the inbound. 15 points out on the floor now for Tegan Piesek. Ella Jansen with 19 on the bench, getting a break and a foul called as a blocking foul against the Gobblers and Bretta Westman. That'll be her second tonight. Out-of-town scoreboard update, just under a minute to go. Minnesota Wild up 4-2. Jewel Erickson-Eck, J-double-E, I should say, putting that one with a 2-goal lead against Washington. First free throw good for East Central, Isabella Olsen. Second free throw, no good off the back of the rim, rebounded down to Tegan Piesek. Tegan will bring it up across half court. Works it left side into the corner for her. Up top now, Emma Skye left alone, straight on three, no good. Rebounded down to Piesek with the putback jumper, no good. Rebounded down into the hands of Isabella Olsen. 10.5 to play. Gobblers up 44-29. Gobblers had a 20-point lead at the break. Now at 15 here in the second half. Larson, a high pass inside to Ludwig. Shot denied. Put back. Follow through is good for Mackenzie Ludwig. 10-10 to go.
8 points here in the second half. 4 rebounds.
Seeing action off the Gobbler bench and a steal by the East Central Eagles. Larson double teamed across half court. Now gets it across the midcourt stripe to Carly Watron. Gobblers want to get Ella Jansen back in. Next opportunity. Runner outside the paint is good for Elsie Larson. And it's 44-33 now. 20-point leads down to 11. Gobblers need a basket here on this possession as Tegan Piesek gets a screen, works away from Camille Peranto on that screen. Inside to Camille. Forced to pass, goes off the body of a Eagle, but still into the hands of East Central.
Gobblers 6 turnovers so far here early on, second half.
44-33 the score. Out of the halftime locker room, Gobblers sluggish to say the least. A 15-6 run to open up the half for East Central. In the right corner, Carly Watron trying to find a pass. She will get it over to Isabella Larson. Down low in the paint. It's going to be last touch by a Eagle, and we'll go back to Aitkin as now we'll get Ella Jansen back into the ball game for Aitkin. 44-33 our score. Gobblers lead here on the Gobbler and also at YourLiveEvent.com. Our second of 4 broadcasts on YourLiveEvent.com this week as well. We'll have tomorrow night off before we're back in action with Aitkin Wrestling Thursday night. Their season debut on YourLiveEvent.com. Lance Bauman will be on the call for that one from Aitkin High School. Skip pass down low. Bretta Westman double teamed on her, misses the initial opportunity, gets the putback. Second opportunity, no good. Rebounded down to Eiley Culm to Ella Jansen. She'll reset the offense between midcourt and also the top of the circle. to Emma Jacobson on the right wing. Up top for Jansen, left side inside the perimeter. Driving is Westman trying to find something, and now we're going to tie up on a jump ball as we get a 44-33 lead for the Eagles. Jump ball in the tie-up. Possession arrow will stay with Aitkin as
I guess there was some commotion up there in the crowd.
apparently one of our officials on the far side of the court, I don't know what was transpiring behind the play, but official not having it tonight. Nope. We'll just keep quiet about that here so far. And a inbound to the right side and a foul called as a scrum between Camille Peranto and it looks like Elsie Larson. Or is that going to be Isabella Olsen, I think. Third foul of the half for the Eagles. Stoppage here as one of our officials talking things over with our scorebook, Jen Waldorf. 44-33. Inbound to the right of the basket. It will stay with Aitkin. So it'll be 23, Chandra Nelson. That'll be her second. Inbound to Jansen off the inbound. Right corner three-pointer, no good. Rebound picked up by Bretta Westman. She hits the deck. As gets up a little bit gingerly does Bretta Westman. A little bit of assistance from Camille Peranto, and that's going to bring the bench active as well. And I believe they called a jump ball coming down to the board. They just call a travel. Nonetheless, East Central has the basketball now. Seeing Josie Kostick check in as well now with Emma Skye with 3 fouls, and also now Bretta Westman getting looked at over on the bench area for the Gobblers. Under 8 to play, 44-33 the score. Runner in the lane is met with contact is number 30 in Isabella Olsen. And that will be a foul assessed to Josie Kostick. That'll be her first of the night. Team 6 of the half, but it's going to be 2 guaranteed free throws for Isabella Olsen at the line. First free throw up, no good for Olsen. Mason Bellinger checks back in. Jamelia Karanen back in as well for the Eagles of East Central. Second free throw from Olsen off the back of the rim, no good. Fight for a rebound goes into the hands of Camille Peranto, and she gives it up to Eiley Cullum across midcourt. Eiley, right side pass to Emma Jacobson. Jacobson fed inside to Cullum, throws up a runner, no good. Rebounded down into the hands of Olsen. Olsen will give it up to Elsie Larson. Nearing her way across midcourt. Now work at left side. Picks up the dribble with the left hand. Switches back to the right. High pass inside to Mackenzie Ludwig. Looking down low. Back out now. Jumper on the way is no good from number 14, Mason Bellinger. And it'll be into the hands of the Gobblers. Stretch pass now into the right corner for Camille Peranto. Skips it over to Ella Jansen on the right wing. Cross court heave now. We'll go back and forth between Jansen and Cullum. Down low, stretching it out down low. Going to be last touch by the Gobblers as Camille Peranto calling for it. Last touch by the Eagles. 7:04 to go. 44-33 remains our score. Inbound goes to Ludwig across midcourt. Stretching it out now. 2-on-1. Ball loose out on the floor. Picked up by Josie Kostick. Josie will give it up to Eiley Cullum across half court. Near the point of the game, concession stand closing down. Runner just off the left side. Jansen gets it out of the right corner after the missed shot and rebound from Emma Jacobson. Eiley Cullum out on the right wing now and brings it back to the left side for Ella Jansen. Going to fire up a three-pointer. Good for Ella Jansen. 47-33.
Much needed basket there. The Gobblers to stop the momentum from the Eagles.
At a 20-point lead, down to 11. It's back up to 13 as Camille Peranto takes a charge.
Number 2 for Camille. She loves that.
You'll see Larson will be assessed her first, and thankfully as well, the concession stand girls don't drop a single kernel of popcorn as they divvy it out to the student section below our feet as well, because that would have been a catastrophe nonetheless. Popcorn goes flying here. Foul called.
Quick clarification, that was Elsie Larson's second foul on the evening.
Yes. Kiernan will be assessed her first as well. Team's fifth of the half as well. 6:09 to play. 47-33. Late start with our game tonight. Looks like it'll be another late one here as well. The way this ball game is shaping up, just inching our way closer towards 9 o'clock here, but we'll see what happens nonetheless. If it's going to be a Gobbler win, I think we'll certainly take it. Under 6 to go as a tip pass looking down low where the Gobblers, as it's going to be last touch by the Eagles. It'll stay with Aitkin, as it'll be Ella Jansen to inbound the basketball. Goes left corner now for Tegan Piesic. Left elbow jumper off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound down to Camille. Basket will not go on the putback, but we'll get 2 free throws for Camille Paranto. 47-33. With 5:53 to go. Hey, down in front. Alex Palm walking by. Got to talk with Alex after the win on Monday night. First free throw from Camille, no good. Foul goes against Mason Bellinger for East Central. That's her second of the night as well.
Only the 7th free throw attempt from the Gobblers. Isabel Olsen for the Eagles has got 8 by herself.
47-33, 5:53 to go. Second free throw from Paranto is good. 48-33 now the score here in this second half on the Gobbler as well as YourLiveEvent.com. Inbound now goes to the Eagles. A little bit of pressure from Aitkin to get it across half court from East Central. Elsie Larson will just get it across the timeline here before the 10-second call. Larson, left side, now gets it to Mackenzie Ludwig. Ludwig looks for a penetrating pass. She'll drive it herself from the left wing, throws up a runner, no good. Rebound is loose and picked up by Aitkin, and Ella Jansen will give it up to Emma Jacobson as she'll bring it across half court for the Gobblers. Left side to Tegan Piesic. Left corner, three-pointer for Tegan. Off the side of the iron, no good. Rebounded is loose. It's picked up by Elsie Larson for the Eagles. Stretching the other way, trying to bring up the offense, trailing by 15 for the Eagles. Cut it down to 11 here in this second half as ball staved away, as you'll get a foul called as Josie Kostick trying to steal it from Carly Watron. Foul called against Josie. That's going to be her second tonight. Coming into action, as we'll see some movement off the bench for the Gobblers, and Emma Skye will come in for Camille Paranto. And at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Be Carly Watron, number 11 for East Central.
Carly's first attempt of the night.
Front end of the 1-and-1 for Watron is good. 48-34 our score, excuse me. 5:04 to go. Second free throw now guaranteed. On the back end of 2 is no good. Rebounded down to Tegan Piesic. Tegan will bring it across half court for the Gobblers. Left side for Jacobson. She'll drive, throws a runner outside the paint, and we'll go this time. 50 points to 34.
Emma's first bucket. That's her shot, though. She loves to drive the baseline. She's got a nice soft touch there, able to finish.
As the Eagles now get it across half court with Elsie Larson. 4.5 to go, 50-34. Three-pointer on the way off the side of the rim, no good for Watron. Gets it to the Gobblers, rebounded from Jansen. Stretches it out to Piesic and Jacobson. Left wing, now into the corner. Kostick outside the paint. Looks to drive, gets rid of it somehow to Emma Skye, as we will get the ball to Emma Skye. Still loose, picked up by the Gobblers. Ball down on the floor, we get a battle for it. And a tie-up. Gobblers will keep the possession but lose the arrow after the inbound with 4:14 to play.
You mentioned the cancer night against the Crosby girls. I think it's next Friday, Paul.
I believe so, yes. Aitkin boys play Crosby on Friday. Aitkin girls play Crosby the Friday after. Aitkin already falling to the Rangers earlier this past week as well. Skye took the inbound, pass it off to Josie Kostick, and then action down low. Heading the line will be Josie Kostick. 1-and-1. Foul against Chandra Nelson. That'll be her third. And a 1-and-1 for Josie Kostick at the line. Front end of the... Actually, they're going to give her 2, apparently. Yep. I think it was the active shooting.
Active shooting, it was. Correct.
50-34, a score, 4:09 to play here in this contest. Gobblers up 50-34. Second free throw from Kostick is good. 51-34. 4:09 to go as East Central looks to come out with something here on this next possession. And we got another charge on Elsie Larson. Well, it wasn't Camille this time, but it was Ella Jansen getting the charge call. And that will also be Elsie Larson's third foul tonight to go along with her 14 points. Gobblers up 51-34. Emmett Jacobson on the right wing. Flashes down along the baseline. Left corner, Tegan left alone. Three on the way. Good for Tegan Piesick. 54-34. Hey, how about back up to a 20-point lead for the Gobblers? They led 38-18 at the break. Now they're back up 20 at 54-34. Larson to Watson across the timeline with 3.5 to go. Gobblers with this 20-point lead, inching closer and closer to snapping a 4-game losing streak with a win here at home. On the far wing for the Eagles with the possession. Olsen to Watson out on the right wing. Driving inside, being met by Jansen and Sky, but the Gobblers come out with the loose ball. Jansen will give it up across half court now for Tegan Piesick. Fed inside to Emma Sky. Pass, skip, back up top. Jansen for three, no good. Right corner, last touch by the Gobblers, but it's kept alive to Emma Sky. Up and in, basket is counted, and she is fouled. Emma Sky will head to the line.
Great hustle play by Emma Jacobson to keep that ball alive.
Thought there wasn't going to be much wiggle room for Emma to keep that one alive. Jacobson, that is, finds the space necessary, gets enough on the turnaround. Emma Sky gets the basket and is fouled, and one free throw is good for Emma Sky. 57-34. And a timeout taken on the floor here with 2:55 to play. Timeout by East Central. We'll take a break as well. Gobblers lead 57-34 on KKIN AM and YourLiveEvent.com.
Carries a variety of items that are sure to meet your needs, and you should stop in today. They sell hot stuff foods, frozen foods, selected groceries, household products, and much more. The Hot Stuff Foods and Deli will provide you with a fresh, quick, and easy breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and they also offer some of the best car services in town. They're open 6 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. daily. It's JT Station in Fertile.
Welcome back here on KKIN AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler, and also at YourLiveEvent.com. 57-34, Gobblers with the advantage and seeing points aplenty here tonight. Of course, an and one play finished up by Emma Sky. Leading the way, Ella Jansen, 22 points. Tegan with also 18 points on the night as well for the Aitkin Gobblers. 57-34, East Central gets the basketball as they'll bring it across half court with Elsie Larson leading the way at 14 points. She'll facilitate the offense. Left side now for Carly Watron. Watron will bring it back, skips it off the foot of Josie Kostick, and that will stop play with 2:43 to go. 2:43 remaining here in this second half as Watron takes the handoff from Chandra Nelson. Left elbow extended, shot no good, and ball will go into the hands of Emma Sky. Gives it up to Emma Jacobson across half court, right side for Josie Kostick, fed inside for Emma Sky. Hits the floor, three white shirts all around her. Ball ripped out of her hands to Chandra Nelson, taken away by the Eagles. 2:18 to go. East Central with the basketball. To the right side, Elsie Larson. Now to Mackenzie Ludwig. Looks for a pass now to the free throw line for Carly Watron. She'll dribble her way back out to the left wing. Top of the circle pass. Now right side at the top of the key once again now for Mackenzie Ludwig. Handing off a pass now to Larson. Looks for motion. She'll drive inside. The arc throws up a runner. No good. Shot no good. Rebounded down to Ella Jansen. Stripped away for her in transition. Minute 45 to play. Gobblers up 57-34. Larson left side now for Ludwig once again. Looking for a screen. She'll stop. Pop a shot just outside the paint. Rebound is loose. Picked up by Emma Sky, and bodies go flying everywhere. Tie up once again on the jump ball. Gobblers will unfortunately lose the basketball, even with the effort from Emma Sky. Minute 32 to play. Gobblers again holding on here with this 57-34 advantage. Inbound up and in for Ludwig, now make it 57-36. Will snap their 4-game losing streak before another road trip. Park Rapids coming up on Thursday. Josie Kostic fouled on her way to the basket.
Nice up and under move by Josie there.
And she will head to line for 2. This will go against Nelson with her 4th foul of the evening. 1:17 to play. First free throw no good from Josie. Final score on Cash 95.9, 3WI FM, and Naga defeats Pine River Pillager girls basketball 68-46. Free throw from Kostic is no good. Rebounded in the left corner off the leg of Camille Peranto. Actually throws it off the leg of Elsie Larson, does Camille. Gobblers get the basketball back.
Smart play by Camille there.
Not just good at taking charges, but using savvy basketball play on that opportunity for Aitkin. 57-36, minute 12 to go in regulation. Gobblers with the lead. Jacobson to Jansen, left wing, a three-pointer, no good. And a loose rebound will be last touch by the Eagles. It rolls out of bounds and will stay with Aitkin. Minute 3 to go. We'll see Jamelia Karanen checking in for Isabella Olsen. Right to the inbound from Camille Peranto. Throws up a runner and a foul called against Aitkin, it looks like. And Camille Peranto will be assessed her second tonight. 1 minute exactly to play in this contest. 57-36 the score. To the front court for Mackenzie Ludwig from Jamelia Karanen, who loses the handle, goes off her hands and out of bounds. Ran into a Gobbler leg and on the way to the ground as the ball was coming into her, and it just goes off her and out of bounds. 49 seconds go as almost a stolen inbound. It will be as the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by, looks like Ella Jansen after being poked out of her hand by Elsie Larson with 49 seconds to play. Gobblers will win tonight here. First time in 4 games for them. Of course, in the post-game show, catch up with a couple of players. Hopefully Coach Davies will join us in a spirited mood as Karanen will fire a three-pointer and banks it in 57-39 with 25 seconds to go. Tegan Pisak across half court.
They counted that as a 2.
Interesting, just a 2. As a shot thrown up on the putback, no good for Aitkin. Ella Jansen will be denied, fighting for the rebound as it'll be Larson with the basketball. 10 seconds to go. Across half court, Elsie Larson down low for Ludwig. 5 seconds, turnaround shot, no good. Rebounded down to Josie Kostic, and that will do it. 57-38 our final score. Gobblers win tonight here on the Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com. Post-game shows coming your way here tonight. We'll be back here after this break on KKIN AM, YourLiveEvent.com.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education. Where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class.
My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
Just going to state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby. Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance. Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
Welcome back here on KKIN, AM 930, FM 103.1. And for those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com, Gobblers victorious here tonight by the final score, 57-38. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen now into the postgame show. Gobblers got off to a first half lead at 38-18 as well, and they, did overcome some early offensive woes. So did the likes of the East Central Eagles, but the Gobblers were able to get up to that halftime lead, 38-18. Equal performance from Ella Jansen, also Tegan Piesick, double-digit points in that first half, and good ball movement as well, especially in the latter moments of that first half to get up to that 20-point halftime lead. Now, coming out of the halftime locker room, East Central didn't exactly just lay down and take one as they trimmed the lead down to 11 with getting a couple of turnovers and layups on the other end of the floor, but Gobblers would eventually pull away in that second half, and of course Ella Jansen finishing with the game high 22 points. Tegan Piesick 18 points tonight as well. Gobblers win 57-38 as final scores as well on our other games tonight. YourLiveEvent.com did include Pine River Bacchus girls an onslaught 90-19 against LaPorte tonight, while a final score on Cash 95.9 does see the Pillager girls fall against Monaga tonight. Final score at 68-46. Gobblers here victorious 57-38, the final score here this evening. So Gobblers snapped their 4-game losing streak here tonight. Now 6-8 on the season is Aitkin, while the East Central Eagles fall to 3-9 on the season before the Gobblers head back on the road coming up Thursday in Mid-State Conference play as they take on Park Rapids. More at the post-game show coming up. Of course, we do have our big deal player of the game, our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game coming up. We'll see if we catch up with Coach Davies and a couple of players in the post-game show. Gobblers win tonight here on the Gobbler and also yourliveevent.com.
Dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family.
Welcome back here tonight on KKIN, AM 930, FM translator 103.1, The Gobbler in the post-game show tonight as 57-38, our final score. Aitkin Gobblers lead tonight with a victory, snapping a 4-game losing streak. We speak now with a big deal player of the game tonight, Ella Jansen, with 22 points in the victory tonight. And Ella, well, finally get to see a little bit of that offensive streak that we've seen in years past for you with hitting from downtown. How'd you feel shooting-wise tonight?
Felt really good. I haven't been shooting very well this season, so to actually make some of it feels really good.
And I know as of late, too, of course, there have been some contests that have gotten away from the Gobblers. What was it tonight that was a little bit different that you girls were able to get out to an early lead and hold on to that for the win tonight?
We came out with intensity and energy that we haven't came out with before. We changed our warm-up to be more efficient, and that really brought our energy up.
Gobblers, of course, win here tonight, snapping that 4-game losing streak. And I know, too, a lot of basketball played in the last week as well. I think 4 games in the last week for your team, too. And, of course, we're in that time of year where there's going to be a lot more games in practice. How did you feel, especially coming off the second of a back-to-back night after last night's performance into tonight? You said energy and intensity as well. That was something that was probably felt throughout the whole team tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was.
Of course. Go ahead.
Ella, it seemed like you guys did a nice job of getting that extra pass, rotating the ball around the top of the key down to the post, and then if it wasn't there, it was back out. But many times where you were able to get, a post player one-on-one with one of their girls, and many times tonight Britt did a nice job of finishing, and so ball movement looked from up here looked like it was good from on the court. What did you see down there?
Yeah, it was a lot better than it has been, and we need to keep it up because that's how we're going to score most of our points, by moving the ball faster.
Joining us here on the post-game show is Ella Jansen, our big deal player of the game. Nice job tonight. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Head coach for the Aitkin Gobblers, Kaya Davies, will join us here. But a friendly reminder, once again, big deal player of the game brought to you by Atwater GM in Aitkin, Riverwood Healthcare, Pizza Ranch in Baxter, Little Falls, WW Thompson Concrete Products in Brainerd. Also, BigDealAuctions.com, Cuyuna Regional Medical Center, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, Shannon's Auto Body in Brainerd, Takedown Gym in Brainerd is Coach Kaya Davies here. Now in the post-game show here tonight. Coach, second game of a back-to-back here tonight. Team gets the win. What was the big difference, obviously, overall with this performance from last night into tonight's contest?
Like I told you before in the girls before the game, the first team that hits 50 points is always going to win the game, and that's just exactly what happened there. So also at the big difference from our entire season is we had 44% from the three-point line. That's huge for us. Our two-point percent, 38. I wish that was a little bit higher, but that just comes with time and some confidence in these girls that have never been pushed this hard before. So I'm hoping those numbers get up, but other than that, it was great. Turnovers, 17 of them. Our goal is 15. We missed it by 2. That's just one less turnover or one bad pass. So things to work on, but good turnaround here. Like we just said, we had 5 games in 5 days. Like we just played every single day. So it was really nice to actually get a win here and get some girls' confidence back.
Yeah, and I know after this recent stretch where, games did get away from them, early second half, you got that 20-point lead at the locker room. They start to trim it down to, I think it was 11 at one point. Yeah. And, kept playing right through it. Normally a coach would maybe take a timeout, try to rally the troops a little bit. You let the girls play right through it. Obviously, in a situation like that, maybe you want to slow things down, but you just kind of let things play out. And, the girls were obviously able to, get a couple of turnovers back to your way and then obviously get a couple of layups on the other end too.
So the biggest thing I keep reminding these girls is some ownership on our mistakes. I'd rather see a girl turn to me and tell me, yeah, I know I messed up versus me calling a timeout and then chewing some butt. So
right.
It goes both ways. I always was frustrated with my coach when I know I was messing up and my team is messing up, but we know what we're supposed to do kind of deal. So I think calling timeouts are important in certain times and places. With that 11-point difference there, I didn't feel like the girls were just not doing their jobs, and they all know what they're supposed to do. We just needed one bucket, and then the power is back on in our court. So it was nice to get a home win for once.
Hey, Coach, I know the feeling, and you do too. It'd be probably nice to have a practice tomorrow. You go games in a row, and you don't get a lot of time to work on things, and it's always good to get a practice in between or a couple practices between a game, and you haven't had that benefit with 4, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So probably looking forward to that tomorrow.
I think the girls are too, instead of getting back on a bus and taking a 2-hour drive. So practice tomorrow is going to be big, important for Thursday's game and just moving forward here. We're in conference play. So
yep. Got that.
To your point, Coach, in your pregame speech, your intangibles that you were looking to get and so close on the turnovers, 50 points and a lot of energy and it was fun to watch the girls play tonight.
Definitely agree.
Coach, thanks so much for coming on the post-game show. We appreciate the time as always.
Thank you.
Coach Kaya Davies for the Aitkin Gobblers. Again, 57-38, the final score. As Ella Jansen, our big deal player of the game tonight for the Aitkin Gobblers. Let's get to our Enbridge. I bring the energy player this evening.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
we believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game tonight. I think, Bretta Westman tonight. Strong performance for her as well, coming off the bench. But obviously a couple of key points throughout the contest. Bretta was right in the action tonight for the Gobblers.
Yeah, she's got that quick drop step, goes to her left hand really well. 9 points, 4 rebounds for Britta. Banged up her ankle. She's been fighting an ankle injury as well and banged it up there late, midway through the second half. Looked like she was walking it off, though, but great choice, Britta. Nice game for her tonight.
Bretta Westman, our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game here tonight. Gobblers now 6-8 on the season, while East Central falls to 3-9 on the season. East Central will go back to Great River Conference play. They'll take on Bram coming up on Thursday, while Aitkin heads into conference plays. They take on Park Rapids Thursday on the road as well, with a couple of games lined up next week on the road before coming back to Aitkin High School on next Friday. They'll take on Crosby Ironton as well. But Gobblers get the win here tonight, snapping that 4-game losing streak.
Couple statistics for you, Paul.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah. East Central 5 of 15 from the free throw line, 19 rebounds total as a team, 22 turnovers for the Eagles. Elise Larson leading the way with 14 points, 6 rebounds, and Mackenzie Ludwig also 14 points, 4 rebounds, 10 of her points coming in the second half. For the Gobblers, 5 of 12 from the free throw line. I had them for 18 turnovers, Coach Davies for 17. Total rebounds, 32 for the Gobblers tonight. Leading the way, Ella with 22 points, 6 rebounds. Tegan with 18 points, 11 boards. She had a double-double. And Britta, 9 points, 4 boards. And Emma Sky in the second half, 4 points, 4 boards. A nice night down on the post for the Gobblers. So a nice game. And statistically, it shows, again, those intangibles you can measure and the reason they come out on top. Cut down on the turnovers, rebounded, and shot better from the field.
So things looking on the positive end here tonight, early after a long stretch of games for the Gobblers, and they'll be back in action again Thursday night. Well, you think the girls are going to be happy to have a practice tomorrow. The boys got practice today. They'll get practice tomorrow. They'll get practice Thursday before taking on Crosby Ironton Friday night right here from Aitkin High School. As the boys will get back in action coming up Friday night. We'll have that, of course, broadcast on yourliveevent.com. We'll be on Skeeter 101.5 for that game coming up here on Thursday. But as the Gobblers win here tonight, a reminder that for our broadcast action, we'll be having Aitkin Gobbler Wrestling Thursday night on yourliveevent.com as Aitkin will welcome in Deer River, Browerville, Long Prairie Gray Eagle, and Cloquet Esco Carlton to the Aitkin Gymnasium. We'll have to get confirmation on whether that'll be in the old gym or here in the new gym as well, setup-wise. But Lance Bauman will be on the call for that one on yourliveevent.com with that quadrangular. Again, we'll have Aitkin Gobbler boys basketball coming up against Crosby Ironton on Skeeter 101.5 and yourliveevent.com. The Gobblers win 57-38 tonight, snapping a 4-game losing streak. Well, now East Central has lost 7 of their last 8 games tonight in a good contest here tonight. Gobbler boys win on Monday. Gobbler girls win on a Tuesday. Let's hope the Gobbler boys will win on a Friday right here from Aitkin High School against Crosby Ironton nonetheless. But overall, great game to get back into the win column tonight, Jeremy. And you know what? A lot of girls contributing, but, you see Ella Jansen go for 22 tonight, Tegan with 18, and top to bottom, a lot of contribution from this team for the girls tonight.
Seven girls on the score chart for the girls, and it's always good to, and it doesn't have to be 10 points from each. It's just that chip in and a nice game for the Gobblers. Get back off that losing streak. They got a tough opponent on Thursday up in Park Rapids. It's always tough to go to Park Rapids. Yeah. They got a nice team, and so they got their work cut out for them. But you build off of something like this and go into Park Rapids to hope to come out with the same outcome.
Girls improved to 6-8 on the season again Thursday at Park Rapids, with now a record sitting at 6-8 on the season. East Central falls to 3-9. They'll be in action Thursday against Bram as we wrap things up here tonight from Aitkin High School. Again, check out our full broadcast schedule more, not only on yourliveevent.com, but also at rjbroadcasting.com. Score schedules, broadcast times, and more will be coming up tomorrow morning on the Wake the Lakes Morning Show, so be sure to stay tuned for that tomorrow morning as the Gobblers win 57-38. A big thank you to both head coaches, Roger Keller and Kaya Davies, for joining us on the pregame show. A big thank you as well to Aitkin High School for allowing us to broadcast Aitkin Gobblers sports throughout the high school sports season as well. But as we do finish things off here tonight, again, girls will be in action coming up Thursday at Park Rapids, and we'll have the boys against the likes of Crosby Ironton on Skeeter 101.5 coming up on Friday night. But until next time, this is an Aitkin Gobbler victory, 57-38, as this has been a proud presentation of R&J Broadcasting Incorporated in the Brainerd Lakes area. If you heard some of our sponsors or saw some of our sponsors with the video stream, be sure to thank our sponsors, as always, with your patronage, and always shop local. For Jeremy Jansen, I'm Paul Vold, signing off from Aitkin High School here on KKIN AM 930, FM translator 103.1 The Gobbler. And for those tuning in at yourliveevent.com, you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night, and good night, everybody.